Hi, okay, in this video we're going to basically continue talking about tags and fixing our walls here. So we've got each of the walls here set up, one at the bottom here, top, left, and right. And so once you have it covering the perimeter here, you could also test it out, just make sure there's no white space that comes up inside of no overlap here on your stage, which is black at the moment. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to bring down our walls into the tag, because remember we said we want the walls to also be tagged as a bounceable object. So to do that, basically you can just take the walls, drag it on top of bounceable objects and let go, and you notice it shows up right down here. Okay, so now we have two bounceable objects that are tagged as bounceable objects, the paddle and the walls. Now we want to do the same thing for the bricks, except so the brick is going to be an object that's, when the ball hits the brick, it's going to be a destroyable object. In other words, it will disappear off the screen and be destroyed. So we want to take the brick and drag it down to a destroyable object tag. So that gives it a tag of destroyable object. Okay, this will make a little more sense as we begin the program. We're just setting things up here ahead of time. Okay, so just double check to make sure you have all this, pretty much the way it is. It doesn't have to be any particular order here. Order doesn't matter, but just make sure you have bounceable objects tag, destroyable objects tag. Inside that you have brick, in destroyable. Inside bounceable you have player paddle. Actually, I just see there's a little typo here. Forgot my N. Okay, and so just make sure things. And again, you see how we kind of reordered things. That doesn't really matter. Again, just as long as they're in what's inside of those, that they're tagged. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to begin to program our paddle. Okay, so once you have the paddle in there, what you want to do is you want to go to the Actors tab. You can click on All, next to All, and then select your player paddle. All right, once you select the paddle, remember this is the toggle button that will show you the programming screen, which is your backstage. So here's the backstage. So right now it says player paddle prototype, and so right now there's there's nothing there because we haven't programmed it yet. All right, so let's begin the process of programming the paddle. Okay, all right. So first thing we want to do is if you click on this button here, this gives you all the behaviors that you need to program, all your programming tools. Okay, and coding is under here, under this button. Okay, so that comes in very handy. All right, so first thing we want to do is let's review a couple of things. First of all, let's bring in a note. So it's sort of like a comment tool. Here it is. And if you drag it in here and drop it, notice you get a note here. And if you click right in here, let's type a note to self here. Okay, something like this is the coding for coding that will control the player paddle. Okay, so this is a note to self. The program doesn't recognize it, doesn't affect the program at all. This is just a way to put some notes in there, like a little sticky note for yourself. It doesn't affect the game at all. Okay,